Hello soulmates, you're welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time of seeing my channel, thank you for stopping by. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for watching. So in this tutorial, we're going to be learning the sewing aspect of this dress. In the last video I posted, we went about drafting out the pattern for the making of this corset top. But now we're going to be going into the sewing process. So if you're interested in watching this, please join me while we get started. Okay, so I went ahead to cut out the patterns for the corset dress on the fabric. I cut it on both the fabric and the lining pieces. So I did the same thing for the front and back, following the labeled patterns. So after doing that, I'm going to go ahead and apply my interfacing on it. So I used close stay to interface it. You can use any form of interfacing that you want. So I made sure I add the interfacing on both the fabric and the lining pieces. So after that, I just remove the pin and remove the paper so I can join them together. Okay, so please ensure that before you actually join them, you notch the areas where you have your underbust, your waistline. So just put the paper on it just like I'm doing, and at that point where you have your underbust line, you just give it a notch at that side so that when you're joining it, you can make sure you align them properly. So before you join them together, make sure you notch them all around, both for the front and for the back as well. So if you're finding this tutorial very helpful, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and if you have any question, please ensure to leave it in the comment section. Okay, so I'm just joining them together, placing the notch on each other so that they can align properly, and then I'm using my pin to secure them. So I'm just going to make sure that I align them properly, both from the down to the top. You know that this area has the posterior area, and so it's not going to be straight, so you have to be careful while joining them together. Okay, so when you're joining, ensure that you join the first and second part of the paper. You know, when we are cutting the paper, we labeled it front 1, front 2, front 3, and front 4. So you're going to be joining front 1 and 2 together, just like I did, and you're going to be sewing all round with half an inch from the top to the down. That I mean from the top to the down, not all round. Then from the other side, which is front 3 and 4, you're going to be joining that part together, just like I'm doing. So I'm securing them with my pin after notching it, and I'm going to be joining it with half an inch. Okay, so after that, I'm going to take it to my machine and join it. Then after joining it for both the front and the back, this is what I have. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and join the front and the back together, placing them properly. So after joining them both for the fabric and the lining, this is what I have. You can see the bustier area is showing. It's showing in that part. It's not actually straight because there is a bust at that side. Okay, so I'll be giving the top structure with my sewable bone. I'm using a Regiline bone, a sewable bone, which is about 3/8 of an inch. I mean 0.375. So this is not up to half an inch, and it's not quarter of an inch. It's about 0.375. So I'm just going to put it at the edge area there, just like I'm indicating. So you can actually put your sewable bone at the areas where you have your stitches, or you can actually put it the way I'm doing mine, which is just at the end. So if you look at it now, I have put my sewable bone towards the end area, leaving half an inch for allowance to close it up, and I left about half an inch in between them before putting the next bone. This is because I'm going to be having my eyelet there, which is the holes for the lacing. So after that, I took it and ironed the seam open. So you can actually do this ironing the seam open before you place your bone in, to help it, to make it neat and easy for you to place the bones on it. So after doing that, I also use my tailor's ham to open up the areas where I have the bust. So the bustier area, I use my tailor's ham to press it open so as to give it, so as to maintain the shape that is there. So after that, if you look at the back area, I took half an inch from the waist. When I folded the back into two equal half, I took half an inch from the waist and I marked it towards the top and towards the down like that. This is because the back is not actually straight and I wanted it to have that shape. So I did that for both the front and the back. So after that, this is what I have for the lining pieces. After I've gone ahead to give it a good press, you can see the bustier area is not actually straight. It has that shape of the bustier. So that's because I use my tailor's ham to press it very well. So when you're doing yours, ensure you do the same and press the other areas very well. After giving it a good press, I'm just going to take the front part and then take the lining part as well, facing each other, right side facing each other like this. And then I'm going to lay them properly before pinning them. So I'm just going to pin them all around, both from the side to the top, to the other side, and towards the hem area. I'm going to use my pin to secure them properly so that I can take them to my sewing machine and sew them well without them moving or giving me issues. Okay, so after doing this, I'm just going to sew just the top and the hem area. What I mean to say is that I'm not going to be sewing the sides where I put my bone in. No, I'm not going to be sewing that area. It's just the top and the hem area, and I'm going to be sewing it with half an inch, but that's the seam allowance I kept for it. So after that, I'm just going to go ahead and remove the pins. So I've already stitched already and I've removed the pins, so I'm just going to take the clothes and I'm going to open it and turn it to the other side, just like I'm doing right now. So when I'm going to turn it, I'm just going to be careful doing that because of the bones around there, and I'm going to open it properly. So taking one side of the dress, which is the areas that I have the bone. If you look at it, this is what it looks like. I'm just going to take one side and I'm going to fold it in, folding the lining and the fabric inside, just like I'm doing right now. Just carefully watch what I'm doing. Then after folding it, I'm just going to stitch towards the end all down. Same thing I'm going to do to the other side. I'll fold it in and stitch it from the top to the down. Okay, after I've done the stitching, this is what I have. Okay, you can see it's still looking very neat, so you have to make sure you stitch it towards the end to have a good result. So you can also see that the bustier area is not flat. That's because of the ironing and because of the way we place the boning on it. So after that, I'm just going to go ahead and mark out the areas where I'll be putting my eyelets, that is the holes for the lacing. So I just went ahead to mark them, leaving about 1.5 inches spacing in between them. So after doing that, I came to the top and added one extra hole, and for one side, that is the side that has the extended asymmetric design, and then for the other side I came down and added one extra hole for the down. That's the design. Okay, so now this is the eyelet I'm going to be using to fix on it. So you can actually fix it yourself, or you take it to any shop around you that does eyelet fixing. So at this point, we are done with this tutorial. If you find this tutorial helpful, please ensure to like, comment and share our video. Also subscribe to our channel, leave your notification bell so you can be notified when we post new video. Thank you for watching. See you in my next video.